Good morning, cadets. Today we are going to discuss the important points of this lesson, the third level. And this is the most important session. For the examination, if you go through these points and if you know the story, then definitely you'll be able to score well. In number of sessions, we have discussed the questions on this lesson. Detailed explanation of this lesson was given. Now, in this last session of the revision of the third level, we are going to discuss the important points, gist of this lesson, the third level. What is this lesson about? This lesson is a story of 30-year-old man whose name is Charlie. It is a psychological story. And here the third level refers to what? It refers to the subway at the Grand Central Railway Station, which takes to Galesburg. And once you go to Galesburg, you travel into the past. The world of the late 19th century. And here, this subway, this third level, is a kind of connection or interconnection between the narrator's harsh reality and fantasy. So, in fact, this third level was a way of escape, was a medium of escape for Charlie. And probably he tells us the challenges a man faces in this modern world. As life in this modern world is full of uncertainties, worries, stress, anxiety, and therefore he transports into a totally different world, the world of the past, where there was peace. So let's take up now the important points of this lesson. The third level at Grand Central Station. So remember about the third level at Grand Central Station, and you should be able to explain about this third level. So by this time, you know what is the third level. Now here Charlie claims that he has been to the third level. The first level, that is a ground level from where one can go to some other cities by the train. Here he is talking about the third level where? At Grand Central Station, which is in New York City. But everybody is aware that how many levels are there? There are only two levels. One for the trains which can go to some other cities, and another one from where the local trains go to some other parts of the city or suburban part. In the outskirts also one can go by taking that train. So by taking the metro train. So these are the two levels. But Charlie claims that he came across the third level, and where the train to Galesburg was possible. Where the train was there for Galesburg. and he takes us to the past. So there's a travel from present to the past. And it's a kind of wish what Charlie had and what his friend told him that he had waking dream wish fulfillment. He had mental illness. He was trying to escape. So it was a kind of escapism. So your Grand Central Station of New York has two levels. So you should know what is the third level. And it is a medium of escape for Charlie. So it was a way by which he can escape from the harsh realities of this modern life, of this modern world. But Charlie, a 31-year-old dweller of the city, talks about there being three. So he claims that there has been three levels and he has been to that third level. Not only does he believe in the existence of this hypothetical third level, but also claims to have been there. So, does it really exist? It doesn't exist at all. Then what is it? It's an imaginative flight. And here the psychiatrist's friend tells him that the modern world is full of insecurities. Modern world is full of uncertainties. And that is the reason why one wants to escape from this. So, what he will do? He will fantasize. And that is what Charlie has done. So, I'm quite sure that you understood what does third level refer to. So, it refers to what? It refers to story. Like a building will have three stories. So, similar way here in the case of a train, a station, there are three levels. That is what Charlie has been telling. Okay, the second character which is very important is Sam. And who is Sam? Sam is psychiatrist's friend. So he happens to be friend of Charlie. He happens to be a psychiatrist. So Charlie visits a psychiatrist friend, Sam, to talk about his problem. So he consults him. And psychiatrist friend that Sam says he was suffering from waking dream wish fulfillment. So he is daydreaming. Waking dream, he is a daydreaming. He is in the waking state. But what is he doing? He is dreaming. And he has got a wish that he is trying to fulfill that wish in the dreamy state. So what is it? It's a fantasy. So waking dream wish fulfillment. You must understand this phrase. This phrase is very important and rationalizes Charlie's psychology by saying that, so what is his mental illness? Sam tells by saying that the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, worry, and war, and that is the reason why Charlie has been fantasizing. And everybody wants to escape to some temporary refuge from reality. So they want to take kind of shelter, they want to take kind of refuge from reality. They want to escape from this harsh reality. So what will they do? They'll start daydreaming, they will start fantasizing, and that is what he has been doing. That is, this is a rational answer which Sam gives. According to him, even hobbies like stamp collection is a manifestation of this escape or a way to escape from reality and go into that world, the world wherein all fantasies exist. Charlie was in a hurry, and modern life is like that only. We are always in hurry and worry. We keep on worrying about so many things. So here Charlie hurriedly came to the station, Grand Central Station in New York. He was sitting there in the office. He was quite late there, and then hurriedly he came to the station. He wanted to go to his house. The fast growing Grand Central Station at times seems to be a maze to Charlie. It is very confusing. He had lost his way a couple of times earlier too while taking the subway. So when he wants to take metro train, so when he had come to the subway, sometimes he had lost his way also. Once he entered the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel, while the other time he emerged at an office building that was 3 blocks away. But this time, when he loses his way, something unique happens. And what happens? So he comes across the third level. He visits the third level. So when he has lost his way at Grand Central Station, remember what is the name of the station? Grand Central Station. Where is it? It's in New York. How many levels are there? In fact, there are only 2 levels. Then where? How this third level? That is what is a way of escape for Charlie. And psychiatrist friend of Charlie has explained what is it? Waking dream wish fulfillment. Very important point here. The third level. See, that is the title of this lesson too. The third level. Charlie keeps walking in the quiet corridor, angling left and slanting downward. How he has been to that? How did he come across that? So he was walking in that corridor, hardly anybody was there, angling left and slanting downward till he reaches an architecturally old station that is completely different from the two familiar levels. So he has come there. Where he has come there? He has come to the third level. Because he found arched doorway, and when he found arched doorway, then he took that arched doorway, he entered into that arched doorway, and after that he happened to land up there in the third level. And when he came to the third level, how was the third level? It is not necessary that you should repeat all this whatever that is given there as it is. No, you have to write the answers in your own words. So you need not worry about all those difficult words, whatever that have been given here. Try to understand the story, write the story in your own words. The antiquated small rooms, so old small rooms. So the rooms were quite small there. There were very few ticket counters there, few ticket windows there. So you can remember small rooms, few ticket counters or few ticket windows, then small train gates. So it was totally unusual. It was totally different there at the third level. Then all those things that were there, they were all made of wood. So wooden information booth, then street lights or whatever lights that were there, they were gas lights, flickering open flame gas lights. So remember here, what all you should remember: small rooms, few ticket windows, small train gates, wooden booth, information booth, open flame gas lights which were flickering, then brass spittoons, very valuable. Spittoons you'll find nowadays what? Made of steel or made of plastics. But during that time, brass spittoons, which were there in late 19th century, reminds him of the architecture of the late 19th, 18th century. But it is not 18th century, it's a 19th century. 18, 18th century. Is it 18th century? It's a late 19th century. 1894. He also finds that people are dressed in outmoded outfits. So people are dressed in outmoded. So what is not prevailing now? Old outfits. He notices that the date on the newspaper, The World. Now the World newspaper is no more published, but it was there during that particular time. And he tells that the World has stopped printing long back, has stopped publishing that newspaper long back. He talks about that. So the World, which was at that time in circulation. And the date that is written there, June 11th, 1894. As he tenders money to the clerk at the counter to buy two tickets, he realizes that he need to have old currency bills to do so. So he should have old currency. Very important one. Go through again and again this. So Charlie's plan for a journey not realized. Charlie wanted to go where? He wanted to go to Galesburg. So he had come to the third level and he knew that he can travel to Galesburg. But did it realize? Did he go to Galesburg? No, he couldn't go to Galesburg. But he came across third level. After that, he has come out of that. He had always wanted to travel to Galesburg with his wife, Louisa. In his mind, it is a wonderful town still with big old frame houses, huge lawns, and tremendous trees. It is a place with long and pleasant summer evenings and where people have ample of time. People have a lot of time there. So people are relaxed. People are leading very peaceful life. So he wished to have that kind of life. He was always anxious. He was always in a hurry. So the next day during lunch, he exchanges $300 for old style bills amounting to some 200 only. The loss doesn't bother him much as he believes that in Galesburg everything will be cheaper and that he can manage even with a small amount. But he could never again find the corridor leading to the third level. So his plan, did he realize? His plan for journey, his plan to go to Galesburg. No, he didn't. He couldn't fulfill that. And where did he? And who has gone there? Where did he go? Charlie went to third level, but Sam happened to go to where? Galesburg. Who is Sam? Sam is psychiatrist friend. So he's a psychiatrist and is a friend of Charlie. So when Charlie comes across third level, then what has happened? His wife Louisa, Charlie's wife Louisa is worried after knowing that her husband has come across third level. And what does she do? She asks him not to look for the third level any further. But Sam tries to look for third level. And where Sam goes? He goes to the town Galesburg. Charlie realizes that his friend Sam Weiner is nowhere to be found, so he and his wife keep looking for him in the weekends. Sam was the one with whom Charlie is to share his ideas about Galesburg. And who has landed up there? It's a Sam who has landed up there in Galesburg. Here in this story, there's a reference to philately and the first day covers. And here Sam goes on explaining about that. That is also a medium to escape. Philately is not just stamp collection, but a broad term including the study of stamps, postal history, and other related items. So, what is philately? Philately is not merely collection of the stamps, but the study of stamps, postal history, and other related postal items. When a new stamp is issued on the first day, people mail a blank paper to themselves and then retain that unopened letter with the date on the postmark. Charlie has inherited this hobby and the collection from his grandfather. And Sam, his psychiatrist friend, says, so this hobby, if you got, that means you have got a way or you have got a habit to escape into fantasy. It's a medium to escape. The climax to the story is in a letter from Sam. Now, psychiatrist friend Sam tells him that Charlie was really mentally ill, and it's mainly because of the modern life where there is lot of uncertainty and insecurity. Man is stressed and is very anxious. So due to stress, anxiety, worries, insecurity, uncertainty, one tries to escape into the world of fantasy. So one day while fidgeting with his stamp collection, Charlie comes across a letter that was not there earlier. It bears the postmark on a faded 6 cent stamp with a picture of the President Garfield. The envelope was sent on July 18th, 1894 to Charlie's grandfather in Galesburg and is addressed to Charlie. The letter reads that Sam has reached Galesburg and is having a lot of time there. He also invites Charlie and Louisa to Galesburg. When Charlie goes to the stamp and coin store, he is apprised of Sam's exchanging $800 for the old currency bills to establish his business of hayfeed and grain in Galesburg. The letter was written by Sam Weiner, who was Charlie's psychiatrist, and he happened to be his friend. So, with this climax, the story ends. It's a beautiful story, very interesting and engrossing story, which tells about the modern life. I'm quite sure you must have enjoyed this story very much. Thank you. Goodbye.